Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Healthy Aging Podcast, where we are still speaking about skincare. We've had some absolutely amazing guests, and for the first time we've actually got someone coming back on to speak about another topic. So Susie, would you like to introduce our lovely guest today?
Of course. So this is something that you and I have noticed, Lorraine, hasn't it? That a lot of our guests have got so much knowledge on different things that we've been speaking about. And today we're going to be speaking to Catherine Freeman. So we spoke to Catherine really early on in the podcast when we were doing the mindset section. And Catherine's helped me so much on mindset. But actually her background is in skincare. And she's helped me even more, but actually not more, she's helped me equally with skincare as well, and ensuring that I have really good practices and just little tiny tips that she's given me over the years. And some of them I might share if she doesn't share. And I was really keen to get Catherine on because she's always great fun to be around. She's got a ball of energy, she's wealthy knowledge, and she's everything that we promote on the Healthy Aging Podcast. And the thing that both of us love the most about her is the fact that she's just her true authentic self. You get her the same way all the time, and it's just brilliant to have her. So Catherine, welcome back to the podcast.
You. I'm always so honoured. Thank you so much that you want to listen to me, to be honest.
Listen to your day.
To pay. It's wonderful.
So listen, because we're talking about skincare, and we normally say, like, what's your top tips? We're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to share your background of the knowledge that you have in skincare, because it goes way back.
Really does go way back.
So let's start with that. Let's go back to, like, why did you get into skincare? How long have you been in the industry? What have you done in the industry? Off you go.
Okay, so when I was younger, in my early teens, one of my older sisters, Yvonne, she was in the army, she'd come back and she would have baby lotion. This is really me showing my age, guys. Baby lotion that she used to use to take off her makeup. And I always looked up to my big sister because she always had gorgeous skin. And I was watching, I said, what is it you're doing? She went, well, I'm taking all my makeup off and I'm cleansing my skin, and then I use a moisturiser. So that was my first introduction of, instead of using soap and water, which is what my mum used to use, to actually use something that was more designed to take the makeup off and dissolve the makeup. So that was my first introduction. And then I was away down in Bournemouth, and my ex-husband at the time worked for Max Factors. So then I was open to a little bit more of these products to use. So I started to use, and he'd get me the cleanser, the toner. And I actually remember putting number 1, 2, 3, 4 to remind me what I had to use, because I had to cleanse, then I had to tone, I had to do a day one, I had to do a night one. At this time I was in my early 20s. So I found skin interesting. I wasn't particularly great at doing it every day and maybe forget, etc. But it was something that interests me on my skin. And then at the age of 27, I lost my mum. I had just been working in New York and I'd come back. And I really was at I don't know if everybody can relate to this, but I was at a crossroads in my life. I was either going to go back to New York and work in a bar, so I was a bit of a beach bum without a tan, or my younger sister's like, why don't you go to college and train for something? And I was like, well, what can I do? Because back then we didn't have lovely titles of dyslexia or anything. It was just you can't read and write properly. And she says, you know, you always look after yourself. You're interested in that. Why don't you do beauty therapy? So I did. And that to me was just a subject. It was never a chore getting out of my bed. I used to love getting out of my bed and going to college. I found the whole subject to the skin fascinating. I understood very quickly that your skin's your biggest organ. So what you were putting into your skin was probably as important, if not more important, than what you were putting on top of your skin. So the kind of tidbits that I'm going to give, and it's so funny because drill these into any young person that's around my company spends any time with me. My young sisters, twins, it's drummed into them, you know, you have to cleanse your skin. That is probably the most important thing. So when you're in your early 20s, probably one of the most important things to do is to use a good cleanser. I always love to, when I'm doing this, talk to people and say, is it more important to use a cleanser or is it more important to invest more in a moisturiser? And you'll be surprised how many people, and you may be one of those people, that would spend a lot of money on a moisturiser, but not so much on a cleanser. And in actual fact, when you think about it, your skin naturally sheds, so it's in 5 layers, the epidermis, and when it naturally sheds, it builds up a lot of dead skin cells at the top. So if we're not cleaning the skin correctly, and that makeup or just the oil and the dirt grind underneath it, you're just putting a good moisturiser on top of that. So for me personally, I always encourage everybody to use a really good cleanser. And when you're in your 20s, you can pretty much get away with a basic moisturiser. So the things that I teach my nieces, for example, is to make sure their skin's cleansed, to exfoliate at least once a week, which means all those dead skin cells that build up, they get removed, to use either a mask to hydrate the skin or to deeply cleanse, depending on your skin type. But it's a really must to be cleansing on a daily basis. So when I was starting out, I would use, you know, a fairly good cleanser, a moisturiser, which I could get away with day and night at the time because I was so young. But then when you hit round about 25, and it's something I used to do when I used to lecture on skin, to 25, you've got the skin you're born with, and then you really get the skin you deserve. You know, so you need to be looking after your skin. So a lot of the teenagers that I work with, I really encourage them to, you know, fake your face, guys. At the moment, I've got no makeup on. I just literally put a little bit of our Power Lips on, and I put a little bit of our fake tan, which is just, it's designed that it won't last for a long time, this particular fake tan, because it doesn't have the stuff that's going to clog your skin. It allows your skin still to breathe, but it gives you that little insta glow, which is what it's called. It gives you that little bit of healthiness. I was going to put my full makeup on, but I thought, why not show you my skin how it is today? So I'm 56. I still find that quite comical to say that out loud. I do get asked quite often, have I got fillers? How much do I spend on Botox? How much do I spend on my face with those chemicals going in? I don't have any fillers. My eyebrows all move, everything goes. It's quite flexible. I'm not knocking anybody that does use that, because I don't believe in judging people. I'm only sharing my journey. But I started young, so anybody that's on this call that's in your early 20s, if you can get into the habit of cleansing, using a good cleanser, a decent moisturiser, as you get older, you'll start to, for example, you'll start to use a night cream, which will really nourish your skin. And as we get older, we need that more nourishment. You'll actually start using more exfoliators, masks. I use a really good throat cream now as well. And so I've progressed on from just a cleanser and a toner moisturiser and a day and a night moisturiser, which I had way back when my ex worked for Max Factors, to now I use, you probably have all seen this, if not you'll have heard about it, it's called the Lumispa. And this is designed with the correct cleanser. I'm finding a lot of people are using cleansers that are actually dragging the skin, and actually, so you're not going to get the same result. But with the correct cleanser, and especially the correct cleanser for you, because we have a range of different ones, it actually goes on, it goes onto your skin, it lifts, grips and slides not only the makeup, if that's what you're using, it's brilliant for males or people that don't use makeup, because it lifts off that dead excess skin. It really helps to make the skin glow. So you've got that preparation. So once I use that every day, so that's a daily, it takes 2 minutes. You can use it in the bath, you can use it in the shower, you can use it while you're walking about. It is so easy to use, and you can use it twice a day, morning and night. Then after I've done that and I've removed that with a flannel, I'll put on a bit of toner. Again, I'm going to
just quickly stop you, if that's okay, Catherine. I'll tell you for why, because we're now we're going into what it is that you do, as in your routine, and I'm really excited to hear that. And I want to talk a little bit more about the Lumispa, but I also want to just get you to share, if we can, before we move on to that, like, after you qualified as a beauty therapist, what did you then go on to do? Because I think that's a really important part of your story. And sometimes we're not good at recognising our own greatness. And I have to say, you know, you and I are very, very close, and you're hugely inspirational to me. And when you were sharing about talking about going to college, and you were like, you know, didn't call it dyslexia on that day, you just couldn't read or write. I felt myself getting really filled up emotionally, because I'm like, knowing that you lost your mum at a young age, that you were dyslexic and you didn't have any of that guidance, really, what you've achieved in life is absolutely incredible. And we don't recognise that often enough. As human beings, we don't recognise it in ourselves, but just listening to you again, it's like, I'm like, my gosh, I feel so lucky to know you. Like, I'm just like, this is unbelievable. So what happened after college then? What did you go on to do after college?
Well, even just to get, and this is something that I hope one day I can inspire young people, because and it is nice, I've got a title now, but at the time it was called You Can't Read and Write. Okay, so you're literally put into a box, and you're even put into your box, more importantly, you're sometimes put in the box with the people that love you the most, your family, because they don't want you to be hurt, so they don't want you to put yourself forward, so they just put you in staying at, because at the time I was working in a fishmonger's, and they called me Katie Kipper, and I was like, Mum, I'm not what do I go through my life, Katie Kipper, you know, so I did not want that. So you know, you're working in a factory, I was working in every low paid job you could think of, and I was to be grateful for that, and I wasn't. So I had this burning desire for the life that I've got now. If I'll be honest with you, I wanted this life that I've got, and my life has got choices in it, which back then I didn't have a choice, you know. And so I pushed myself and I went to college. And you're right, Susie, it was something that I am very proud of myself for doing that, and sometimes I don't always recognise it. And it was challenging, guys, because I had to pretty much reset most exams, because I couldn't express on paper what my head was saying. So I had to reset it a few times till I passed. I left college with 5 merits, all on the physical, because I was naturally good at the hands-on, although I struggled with the paperwork. I was very grateful that I had a class of girls that I'm still friends with quite a few of them today, that we all helped one another. So we had that teamwork in there. And then when I left college, I was asked by 2 different lecturers who'd been promoted to run the colleges, one in Clackmannan and one in Greenock, and I was actually asked to lecture in these colleges, which was absolutely massive for me, because I remember going, what do these people see in me that I don't see? Why are they asking me to do this? And I was so honoured, and I just remember thinking, Catherine, if you can do this, you can do anything. And I went, and was it hard? Yeah. Was it challenging? Did it take up a lot of time, especially marking papers when I had to read people's writing? But it was a very rewarding. And from there, because I started my first beauty room, but I wasn't making any money really at all. So that's when the lecturing was really, I feel as if it was my gift from my mum, if I'll be honest, because I'd just literally lost my mum before that, and I got into the lecturing. So I'd started my first beauty room, which was in Largs. I then went on and bought another salon from a girl I used to work for, which was in Erskine, and then I opened up another salon in Erskine. That ended up being not profitable. For if anybody that's in business, don't keep a business for a title, keep a business because it's giving you profit. So I got rid of that because it was not working out a profitable business. And then from there, I then stumbled onto a teeth whitening company, which at the time I kind of got as high as I could go with my beauty rooms. And I ended up working my teeth whitening company. I ended up taking that company over. And that's when I got introduced to New Skin, which was the actual business model that I'd been looking for since I got introduced in my 20s, because I knew that could give me time freedom and not just financial freedom. And the products in there, because I'm not actually a good salesperson, I get excited if I see results. I get excited if I like something, and I generally want to share that. So that's how my little journey got me to where I am today. And yeah, Susie, sometimes I skip past that, and I shouldn't, because it is good.
Yeah, listen, I'm learning things about you as well, which I love. You know, it's like every time you speak, I hear new things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never knew that about Catherine. And there's little things that you've shared there that I didn't know about. And I'm like, this is brilliant. So we're going to talk about, you mentioned about the Lumispa. We will come back to that. But when you joined Nu Skin, like you said, you had been looking for a network marketing business, because Nu Skin's a network marketing company, but you'd never ever found a company that aligned with your values. You never found a company that had the products, the science, the reliability, the credibility that Nu Skin has. And when you came across Nu Skin, it was actually the Galvanic Spa that got you into the business. So if you're listening to the podcast, if you get a chance, jump onto YouTube, because Catherine's got the devices with her, and she's going to show us them, you know, so obviously you won't see them if you're listening, but you can certainly jump on and have a wee look at them. And if you go onto Instagram, we'll actually put the devices up on Instagram anyway, so you can see what they are. But it was the Galvanic Spa that brought you in. So tell us a little bit about the story of like the Galvanic Spa, why you think it's such an amazing piece of technology. I think every person on the planet should have it. I don't know if you agree or not.
So 100%.
Right. So talk
100%.
about why should everybody have it, and the comparisons of that and what you use in your beauty rooms.
In my beauty rooms, I was always, because I was lecturing, I was actually teaching my competitors. So I was teaching the people that were going to be in larks, who would be my competitors. So I very quickly realised if I was just doing the basics in the beauty, like waxing, makeup, massages, etc., I would have to share all of that with everybody else. So I quickly realised I needed things to draw my customers in. So, and I've always been one for the way I've got quite a good business head. I always see the potential of you've got to speculate to accumulate. You've got to invest in a business if you want to that tenfold. So I was always buying machinery, which for some of them, I got the Casey machines and I got them in both the salons. So you're talking thousands and thousands of pounds I was investing. I used the galvanics in my salons, which again were thousands of pounds. And I would always be one step ahead of what was coming out. I've been very lucky that way. I've always managed to get in and get out of businesses at the right time. I was not at this particular time looking for a new business. I had just taken over a teeth whitening company. My salons were up and running, so I was still managing them. My sister had just had her babies, who are going to be 14 at the end of this month. And I had promised her, because we'd lost our parents so young, that I would take one day off a week to look after her baby. She ended up having twins. So I had one day committed. So the last thing I needed was another business. However, when a gentleman, when I was out promoting my teeth whitening company, brought this little device and asked if he could do a demonstration. He wanted to bring it into the UK. And I said, look, I'm personally not looking for anything, but I deal with a lot of people that are in business. So if you work on me, and if it's any results, because I will not waste your time. I've heard all the spiels. I'm a very visual person. If I see it and I feel it, you'll have my interest. Because I was actually at the beauty show. So I know all the different machines that are there, thousands of pounds. So this guy came along, did the device. The device is a galvanic, which just means it works on a negative or a positive charge. So when you put a product that's got a negative charge, for example, on, which the wee white one, the Capsules White has, and you put negative together, when they then get together, they repel, which means this product gets pushed deep, deep into the skin. And this is to deeply cleanse your skin. So I know this. So I'm asking the gentleman how it works. Did not have a clue. Okay, now I'm not got the prettiest face on the planet, but it's my face and I want to hold on to it. And I'm lying there going, what on earth are you letting this man do to your face, Catherine? It took him literally 5 minutes to do the negative and the positive, and then he handed me a mirror. And at that time, I was 42 years old, and I was shocked because I had looked after my skin, but I was really genuinely concerned with how it was starting to go. I've got a long face, so unless I pile on the weight, you're going to see the face changing. And I know I'm 56. I can see the fact I'm looking 56, but I know that my skin looks great for my age, because I honestly believe, my hand on my heart, this particular device, because I've used that at least once a week for the last 14 years, the odd time I've maybe went a couple of weeks without using it. It takes you 5 minutes, guys. It is so easy to use. Because I've used that, I can honestly say, my hand on my heart, my skin has not changed that much in the last 10 years. And it's interesting because I've met a few people lately that are like, why have you not aged? I actually met a gentleman that I used to rent one of his flats off of when I first moved to Largs, which is 25 years ago. And he's like, why do I look like this and you have not actually aged in the time? And I was like, well, I do have a little secret here. So that is my story to go back, and I was hooked. So as soon as I got that, I then looked into the business, and then I realized the company was all about not just, because I know lots of companies just put all the good stuff in there, you have to do the good stuff as well. So they have a whole separate sister company, if you like, called the Pharmanex, which allows you to put the goodness in, and they've got a scanner that will allow your body to see if you're absorbing it or not. I'm also massively, because it was my older sister, again, it told me this, and because of my beauty background, this costs you nothing. Okay, Scotland, we've got one of the best waters. I've got a phenomenal filter in there, which if you ever get Irene McCrae on, get her to go through it in detail. But this, which you can have anywhere in the world, and it's pretty much free, is water. And that is probably one of the best things you're going to put in your skin. And also a little nugget that
are you good? I'm just going to jump in again, sorry.
Yeah.
So
no,
water, are you going to put it on your skin, or are you going to drink it so it hydrates you? Okay.
You're going to drink
now listen,
it.
You would imagine that everybody knows that, but
absolutely,
some people will not,
right,
they
Susie.
won't, like they won't know that. And I'm going to rewind a little bit, just because, again, you've missed a little part out. This is what's so great about knowing you. Is when you were at that beauty show and that guy done half your face and you were lying there going, my gosh, what's the guy doing? And then they handed you a mirror. What happened when you looked in the mirror?
He only did half, so this side just was lifted.
Okay, so the side that he worked on,
the side he worked on plumped. The fine lines that were starting to show were softened. Then if you look at my skin, I can't see because I've not got my glasses, I'm not there. I have lines, but they're very soft. I also used to have deep lines, and when I was in my beauty salon, I had a girl that used to come, and she asked me to be a model for her to put fillers in. So I let her put the fillers in there, and she put it in there. She put it in my cheek, so my cheek was lifted. I used to catch myself, and it was like a lift. I didn't like it, so I never asked her to do it again. Now, I'm not knocking anybody else that wants to do that. I just didn't like it in my skin. Whenever I got this device, and there's a true line corrector, you use a different product, a different head, and it's designed because it's got peptides in it. It's designed to really work on those fine lines. And I found a huge difference with just my fine lines here. And I went back to the girl that put fillers in it and asked her, would you put fillers in my skin now? And she went, no.
Wow.
She went, I wouldn't put fillers in your skin. Your skin doesn't need it. So that was like a reassurance to me. That was like a backup that these products work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm with you. Galvanic Spa is what brought me into Nu Skin. I still use it once a week. I wasn't lucky enough, Catherine, that I started my skincare routine when I came into Nu Skin. Up until the age of 35, I was soap and water. So when I joined Nu Skin, I did not have good skin. You know, I had aged skin. I actually used to break out in spots and acne all the time. It was dry. It was dull. And I definitely look younger now than what I did when I joined New Skin. Without a doubt, it's like night and day the difference. And but I do wish that I had been introduced to it much, much earlier, not even from a business point of view, from a personal point of view, because when I look at you and your skin, it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. So,
and I'm teaching a lot of my nieces and a lot of young ones. I constantly am saying, please make some small changes when you're in your 20s. Good cleanser, a decent moisturiser. As soon as you hit roughly about 23, 25, keep your skin, your face and hair away from the sun. Just keep it away from the sun. There's so many amazing fake tans out there, especially our Instaglow, because it still allows the skin to breathe. You can see it just goes on. It's really natural looking. So you've got that tan look. I can build it up if I want to look really brown without the sun getting near my skin. So just avoid the sun. If you want to, I get people want to be brown. Trust me, I'm blue. I'd have loved to, when I worked in Mallorca, I would have loved to have tan, but I just took a rash. Now I look back and think, thank goodness, because a lot of my friends are all, because we were the teenagers in the 80s, it was all blonde hair, big tan. And a lot of them are really paying the price for it now because their skin is aged. Because sunbathing is one of the top ones for aging your skin. Smoking, it does say in the packet it's going to kill you. So, it's a no-brainer. It's not going to do your skin a lot of good. And stress. So if you can avoid stressful situations or have a toolbox like what we talked about with the mindset, have that meditation, have something to take your mind away so you can bring your stress down. These are all the top things that really accelerate that. You're in the fast lane for aging if you're doing any of those before. The slow lane is in your early 20s. Start, avoiding the sun, drinking lots of water and using a good cleanser and a decent moisturiser with a filter on it, so that your PS, if I can't say it properly for some reason, but it stops your skin, it's protecting your skin. And those little nuggets will make a massive difference. And it's funny, Susie, because I've got my sister's twins, and last year, or I think it was before the pandemic actually, they had like a disco kind of thing, and all the kids were going to it and they were all getting their hair done up. But as soon as they were about 11, I had them on the Lumispa because they started to have a wee breakout. So I got them on the Lumispa straight away. That's all, just a Lumispa and just a basic wee moisturiser. That's all they needed. And their skin, compared to their classmates, was unbelievable. And even now when I see them and I go, you've not used your Lumispa. I know, I was coming round to you and I thought, oh, I say, because I can tell, and I'm the brutal auntie. I'm the dead kind auntie, but I'm also the brutal auntie. And I'm like, get in and get that Lumispa done. Get the mud mask. And the difference is their skin's gorgeous because they use, and this is a habit that they don't know anything else.
Yeah, and what I love as well, Catherine, about our products is, so I'm in my early 40s and I was a sunbed user. So that was kind of my generation. That was like using sunbeds and stuff. And you just don't think that you've done that much damage to your skin. And I was a sun worshipper. So if I went on holiday, I was like, don't wear your sunglasses because you don't want the marks around your eyes and all of that stuff. And when I do my before and after pictures now, so I never really noticed I had a lot of pigmentation in my skin, but I definitely did. And I know these aren't staples of your routine necessarily, but what I love about our products is we do actually have products that can help you with any damage that you maybe have done to your skin before you knew any better.
100%. I've seen people, my ex-partner looked at least 5 years younger when I left him than what he did when I met him because of the 180 range. It was just a fantastic range for males. Our products are not just for females. And you're right, Lorraine, they can help to, I'm all about prevention. That's why I love the Pharmanex side of things as well. Put the goodness in your body so your body's full of goodness before it has to fight anything. And it's the same with your skincare routine. Get into these little habits now. so that you don't have to reverse it back. But Susie, you're right. I've seen quite a lot of people that have joined and 5-10 years later, they actually look younger than what they did when they started, because it can, without it getting into the, so there's no needles involved, there's no, it's nothing horrific, it's just habit. But there's no point in buying these stuff and it's sitting in a cupboard.
Yeah.
You have to use it. So it's getting into that routine now. And my partner Robert, I'm saying to his girls, get these little nuggets now when they're still so young. They'll be grateful for in 10, 15, 20 years time from now.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing to your skin and your body, you will pay for in a positive or a negative way in the next 10, 15, 20 years. But when you're 20, 40 seems like a lifetime ago. When you're 56, you think, 40 was yesterday. So I get that. Do you know what I mean? I do understand that. But get those wee nuggets in just now. It's just small changes can have that compound effect.
Well, it's funny because, like, I definitely want to talk a little bit more about the Lumispa and Nu Skin as a company with you quickly. When Lorraine and I decided to do this podcast, it was all about being able to educate people on aging well, physically, mentally, spiritually, skin-wise, all of that. And as you know, we've covered mindset, nutrition, fitness, and now we're on the skincare section. And in our minds, we were going to bring along lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds of skincare. And we've just not been able to do it because we just keep bringing Nu Skin people on because we just believe in the product so much. Now, don't get me wrong, we had a lovely girl on, Katie, who works very, I don't even think she knew about Nu Skin products. She works very differently from how we work. And it was nice to have someone on with a different angle. What I don't want to be is just all Nu Skin, Nu Skin, Nu Skin. But I kind of can't help it because I'm like, we need to get the message out there that this company are producing, in my opinion, Lorraine's opinion, your opinion, the best of the best skincare products on the market. That means that you can use things in an ethical way, a safe way. You're making a difference to the environment because they're so environmentally friendly. Like, there's a million things, but the science behind these products does not exist anywhere else out there when it comes to daily products in the market. Am I correct with that or not, Catherine? And what would be your one or two liners that make you that have you differentiate Nu Skin from any other company out there?
The one thing I used to always say to people, because obviously being in the beauty industry, I've worked with a lot of different companies, the top end companies, and the products are good, but your skin's in there to protect you. So there's only so much it can actually go through too. So the thing I loved about Nu Skin is it came from both angles. So it was the inside out and the outside in. That scored a big brownie point for me, because I thought if they really believe that they're the top or they're going to be the top, then they have to target both ends, because if not, they're not going to get the results, which is what they do. The second thing I loved about it is because it's a network marketing company, they're in a position, because they don't spend millions on advertising or marketing. It's the distributors, people like us three, that are the marketing, because we use the products, we talk about the products, we demonstrate the products. So that allowed the company to spend more money in the science, and not only just the science, but it's where did they source the ingredients. So I always explain it to people, it's a bit like you can get a fresh orange, carton of fresh orange juice, but then you can go to an organic tree with the best soil, the best temperature, and take that off and open it up. You've got a complete same wording, but you've got a completely different product and you've got completely different results. What I found with Nu Skin is they were very particular about where they sourced the ingredients. So it wasn't just the ingredients in, it's where they sourced it from, which allowed the product to give us results, because 90% of people, if not 95% of people that join Nu Skin have got nothing to do with skincare. That is not their background. They don't need to learn it. They don't need to understand it. All they have to do is use the product and demonstrate it. So we were all about the difference demonstrated. It's about showing a product and letting people feel it, letting people touch it, letting people see the difference in their skin. And that's where Nu Skin, for me, stood out compared to all the other people that I had looked into. Their packaging I always thought was very basic, but I didn't understand that was their reason, because they wanted you to get the results of the product, not lots of free samples and giving out here. Demonstrate it, let people feel it and see it and get the results. And that's why Nu Skin 100% was the company that I knew I could partner up with. Now, Susie, when we started, there was nobody in the UK. So we had no success stories. We just literally had a handful of us out there. And I remember us talking about this, and not just talking about it, but feeling it. We knew that Nu Skin was going to be a household name.
Yep.
And to me, it's still scraped, it's still untouched here in the UK, but it's making an impact. But we have over 250 phenomenal products, and the company can have phenomenal products because of the science, because of the business model they use, and because they're always innovating. So for us, we're always getting new. I started with this device. I've got a body device that works on your bingo wings, your stretch marks. I've now got a cleaning device. I've now got a boost if you want to really boost your skin with this phenomenal serum that's going to go on it and literally like a mini Botox, if you like, over your whole face. And obviously I'm working a lot on my neck area here because I'm at an age where you've got to be very careful of that. And that's not including the toothpaste we have, the shampoos. It's helping women, our hair are getting thinner and finer. We have so many products, and all you have to do is just use them and share your story. And that's why I joined it. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, and some people will say things like, well, why is an anti-aging company got a shampoo? And it's like, well, exactly like what you said. Well, because your hair thins as you age. So our shampoo helps to thicken it. You know, so everything to do with anti-aging, things like your eyelashes, we've got something that grows the eyelashes because that's something else that slows down as we age. And exactly like what you're talking about with the supplements as well, we've got to be giving ourselves good nutrition because that's so important for our skin. We later in the year release our collagen product. We actually had Sharon Comrie on last week sharing about the collagen product because she has been marketing it and selling it in the US because it's available in the US with phenomenal results. And I think that we're going to see a real combination of Nu Skin and Pharmanex as a company come together because of that product. It's insane what it's doing for the skin, but also for inside the body, which is just amazing. But let's talk very quickly, just a little bit about what you're doing with your neck, the Boost device, and a little bit more about that Lumispa device. Just a couple of wee sentences on each one and why they're so important, Catherine.
Okay, so we'll start with your cleansing, because obviously, as I said, if you can't afford a Lumispa, or it's something you don't want to do, we have some fantastic cleansers out there. So look at all our range of cleansers. I'm a great one for start with something, get your belief in it, then you'll be hooked with us. But the Lumispa is designed in a way with you can see here that the head alternates, which just allows it to actually go down and actually lift, grip and slide the dirt and the grime, etc., off the skin, so that your skin's going to look, remember I said all that dead skin comes to the surface, and that can dull our skin, that can pull our skin down. A lot of people have heard of Dermabrasion Facials. So the reason why they're so powerful is the fact that they actually scrape all that dead skin, so it softens the lines, brightens the skin. We're having a similar effect with this, but obviously a fraction of the cost, and it's done on a daily basis. You'll notice that most people that use the Lumispa with the cleanser, and I'm really saying that again because I'm discovering people are using these really cheap cleansers with this device, and they're disappointed that they don't have the results. These cleansers are the age lock, which means that they've got patented pattern in there, and the ingredients are designed in a way to actually help to bring it back, the youthfulness of your skin. So a lot of people are getting fantastic results with this. It's making your skin healthier looking, glower, it's deeply cleansing it, and it's just like hydrating it, and it's also preparing the skin for when you're then going to start to add your other products on. So obviously I'm at an age now where I'd recommend MD after 35. You should be thinking of it like a serum, you know, a really nice serum. I also use like wee capsules, which again are there to help really get that bit deeper into the epidermis, because you've got your epidermis and then your dermis. Your epidermis, if you get a knife, you've got a wee scratch if you touch it. If you get into your dermis, then you've got a scar. So we're working on the epidermis, and the products, especially the galvanic, it's getting pushed down in here. So it's allowing that skin to really look good. But what happens with some of the serums, especially with our boost, it's getting a current that's actually alternating all the time. So it's confusing it, the serum. So it's allowing it to go really deep. Now, when you then go deeper into the epidermis, it then sends signals down to the dermis to get that collagen and elastin to wake it up. So that's why some people are finding their fine lines are getting softer. So it's not only just hydrating the skin and lifting it and plumping it, it's actually getting into the fine lines and plumping them up. So you've got a fuller effect in your face, but it's also softened those lines out. So that's the ones. And then obviously I love the Age Lock Day Cream. It's got I like a creamy texture, but we have a phenomenal range of nutricentials, which if you prefer a gel, you can have it. If you prefer a lotion, it's whatever your body particularly likes. But with myself, I'm focusing a lot on here now, because it was
which
not
is the neck area. If you're listening,
sorry, the
in.
neck area. Yeah, I'm forgetting. And we have the duets, which is just designed to really help to tighten this area up and hydrate it. But I always use my galvanic as well on my neck area, because I can work that up. And also, because I'd only use the galvanic once a week, but I would use my boost, which is a wee device that can just alternate the currency and push this serum deeper in. And I use that along here as well. So that I'm
use that on the neck as well, do you?
I use that on the neck as well, because
do you
again,
use the Lumispa on the neck?
Yes, I do, because I put a wee bit of makeup down here. So anywhere where I need it cleansed, I always use that. What I have found being in the beauty industry for a long time, which is hopefully a nugget that I can really put across, a lot of people just want to work from the chin to the top of the forehead, and they forget all about the neck area. And they forget about the back of the hands. And one thing that my ex-mother-in-law taught me when I was in my early 20s is, Catherine, look after your hands. So whenever I use my moisturiser, I always put the excess over my hands. So you can see here my hands are not particularly that aged either because of that. And if you look at we've been really no nice just now. See, when you look at all those perfect film stars, look at some of their hands and you'll go, wow, they haven't looked after their hands. So even, especially whenever you're using your day cream, when it's got a PSF on it, rub that over the back of your hands, because it's going to protect you from the sun in the back of your hands as well. And that will slow that aging process down. So that's just a little nugget that I teach everybody when I'm demonstrating, showing them how to use the products. Back of the hands, you rub it all over, back of the hands, rub that in, and that will protect your hands and keep those hands matching your face. So you're not just, because I've seen a lot of women that's just from there, and then a big difference along here, their neck and going into their breast area. I can't remember the name of that, which is taking a blank, and the back of their hands. So, pick up these little things. It takes seconds to do, but when you accumulate them over years, they have a huge impact.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So is there anything else that you think we should mention when it comes to looking after our skin, or do you think you've covered it all?
Well, another one, which is, I'll kill yourself laughing because my friends all think it's hilarious. When you're sleeping at night, okay, a lot of you will probably go, oh, I'm wrinkly on one side because you sleep on that one side. So one of the things that a few of them used to kill themselves laughing whenever I'd be sleeping over is, not always, because sometimes I roll over to one side, but on a conscious level, I sleep so that my head is on another pillow to one side, so that I'm like that and I'm not actually lying on my face.
So
things like that make
dedication.
Dedication, yep. And if you can, when you're out in the sun, wear a hat. I always look at Joan Collins. I mean, you know, she's getting older now, but she looks phenomenal for her age. And she always swears by no sun on her skin at all. That was her big thing.
And listen, I can vouch for that. I was in Marrakesh with Catherine, for everybody that's listening, and everybody's out lying on the beach sunbathing, and Catherine was wrapped in a towel or a blanket, lying in a hammock. I've actually got a picture of her. It's hilarious. Totally. That's going on the Instagram as well, actually.
I put it on because honestly, I don't let the sun near me. And it's funny because when I go on holiday, my young sister who loves the sun, Elizabeth Lorraine, she just loves the sun on her skin. So when she's on holiday, I'm always under an umbrella and she follows the sun. And I walk up and I go, oh look, they're cooking lovely. The wrinkles are coming on lovely. They're just looking great. She's like, oh. But she's even getting to a stage where she's thinking, oh, I don't like this. And I'm like, fake your face, fake it. Let the heat in your body, if that's what you love doing, guys. I think there's nothing nicer than a tanned legs and tanned, but fake your face and your chest area.
Love it.
Love it. No, that's
brilliant.
so good. It's so good.
I could just speak to you all day. See, this is why we got you back on again, Catherine, because we could just keep speaking and speaking. You're just a wealth of knowledge and you're great to listen to. Like, you're easy to listen to. There's passion there. There's energy. It's fun. It just, I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for joining us. Lorraine, is there anything that you want to finish off with? Or do you think Catherine's covered everything?
I think she has, yeah, that's been absolutely brilliant. And I think it's amazing just to get that knowledge again from you, Catherine, because as you said, in our business, a lot of times people don't have that skincare background and they don't have all that knowledge that you have to share there. So it was a brilliant reminder just about how amazing you are in that field as well. So yeah, it's been great. Really, great.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for asking me to come on. And it's lovely catching up with the two of you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much again for joining us. And for our listeners, you can find us on Instagram, where you're going to see pictures of Catherine. Healthy Aging Podcast is where you'll find us. You'll find us on Spotify and other podcast channels, and of course YouTube. And this might be a great time to go and jump onto YouTube so you can see some of the devices that Catherine was talking about. You can see that youthful skin that she's got in her 50s with no makeup on. So again, just Healthy Aging Podcast on YouTube. You can follow us there, you can subscribe to us. That means you'll never ever miss a new podcast when it comes out. So thanks so much everybody for listening. Have a great week and we will be back to you next week.